Welcome to the Small School Districts Association Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so that panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/SSDA. And just a reminder on the format of today's session, we have 6 institutions who will be presenting for about 6 minutes each, and then we'll have a few minutes for Q&A as we conclude the session. So now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And up first is Eastern Oregon University.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Allison, and I'm the Portland Regional Admissions Counselor for Eastern Oregon University. And I have about 60 seconds, so I'm just kind of getting into it. We're a small public four-year liberal arts.
Oh, you have 6 minutes.
Oh, 6 minutes. That changes everything. Hi. We're at Eastern Oregon University, small public four-year liberal arts college located in La Grande, Oregon. And I was also a student there, so I graduated a few years ago. And one of my favorite things about Eastern was just the connection that we had with students and being able to, meet with them one-on-one with our professors. And that was really the deciding factor in what made me apply to EOU from an out-of-state school and start my college adventure that way. So with 1,500 students on campus, we are a smaller university. So we have our student-faculty ratio is about 17:1, with our average class size being a little under 25. With that, you get a lot of benefits. That once again, that face-to-face time with your professors, that one-on-one time to build those connections. Our smallest class is actually 2 students. So yeah, that face-to-face time is the most important thing for us. The biggest lecture hall we even offer is about 85 students in your freshman year. And then from there, it just gets smaller and smaller. So if you're looking for a graduate school or an internship or a job immediately after graduating, that's a really big part of getting those personable letters of recommendation from your professors where they actually know you as an individual. We have lots of different areas of study. Business administration is probably our most popular major on campus. It's under the College of Business, but also, I studied psychology and a minor in health studies, but also took classes in welding, computer science, music production, theater arts, just lots of different things to kind of make my psychology undergraduate degree really unique. And one of the cool things is we do have an interdisciplinary studies program. So if we don't have a specific major on campus, you can actually go through and minor at another university and still attend EOU, and you can kind of make your own major that way. So I had a roommate who did, it was theater arts and chemistry, and now his full-time job is making explosions for sets on movies and theaters production. So that's pretty cool. Lots of different outdoor activities for students to get involved in, hiking, skiing, snowboarding, kayaking, canoeing, rock climbing, swimming, camping, all that's totally free for students. So you just show your student ID, rent the equipment, and you're good to go. We are about 2 minutes from the closest nature area. So Mount Emily Recreation Area is not too far away, as well as Morgan Lake, which is my favorite. There's no motors or engines allowed on the lake. So you can kind of just go and hang out in a really tranquil, quiet, docile place for camping, water sports, anything that you might be into. Anthony Lakes for skiing and snowboarding. So one of the top ski and snowboard resorts in the Pacific Northwest. And it's about 45 minutes from campus, and it's a really cool place to go, about 300 inches of snow every single year. So you really get that, outdoor experience just really close to your campus. Living on campus, you are required your first year to live on campus, and we don't really have dorms in the traditional sense. You have residence halls, so you have no more than about 4 students per suite, and you can have your own room or you can share a room if you want. Your Wi-Fi is fully included, cable access is all included, heating, air conditioning, all that's built into your room in your suite. So it's pretty solid with that. Let's see, tuition, we are one of the most affordable schools in the Pacific Northwest, public or private, just with our cost of attendance, tuition, room and board, everything included. So most students spend under $22,000 before scholarships. Then when scholarships kick in, that brings the price down even further. I was actually fortunate enough to pay pretty much out of pocket for 3 of my 4 years working as a resident assistant. So my room and board was covered, but also working part-time at the community pool, just teaching private swim lessons. And so that was a really big factor in, my happiness after graduation. I wasn't, really worried about student debts and loans for years and years and decades down the road after my bachelor's. Scholarships. So February 1st is the priority deadline for next year when you are a senior. Just remember October 1st as the open day for all of your scholarships to become available. You want to be in and fully admitted as soon as possible. So you just go online, submit the application. It takes about 15 minutes. There's no essays or anything like that. And then once that's all good to go, you just send in your unofficial transcripts. You can feel free to email them to me, or you can send them over to admissions@eou.edu. And yeah, after that, you get your admissions decision probably about 4 to 5 business days. It's pretty painless. And then we ask for your official transcripts once you've officially finished with your high school senior year. And yeah, let's see, what's my time with this?
Well, you have another minute.
Another minute? Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was just one of the biggest parts about, Eastern Oregon is the affordability, the access to outdoor activities, and, getting to know my professors one-on-one. One of the other cool things that we have is partnership programs. So if you're looking for agriculture science, crop and soils, fisheries, wildlife, you can actually be an OSU student at Eastern Oregon University's campus, pay our tuition, and get scholarships from both schools. One really unique program that we offer is Fire Service Administration. And so you get to enjoy one of the only programs in the state, Oregon or Washington. And so it's pretty solid with that if you're looking to go into any sort of firefighter work. We also have a partnership program with OHSU School of Nursing. You do your prerequisites with us, and then you go into OHSU. You're still on our campus for junior and senior year, but you're an OHSU student. And thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And our next presentation is from Oregon Institute of Technology.
Hi there. Can you see my screen too as well? No.
Yes, we can.
Oh, the presentation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so, excuse me. So my name is Willow Charlton, and I'm an admissions counselor with Oregon Tech. So thanks for having me, and thank you for everybody who logged in today and took the time to do that. I'm excited to be here and share more information about Oregon Tech with you all. So this is our profile and points of pride at Oregon Tech. So some things that we're really happy about here at Oregon Tech for our students that come to us, 96% are either enrolled in graduate school or employed within 6 months after graduating. So that's something here at Oregon Tech that's pretty great about us. We also have some of the top earning alumni of any four-year university. On average, our students make about $60,000 per year. So that's pretty great. And that's just coming out of college. Another wonderful thing about our school as well is that we have 91% of our undergrad courses have 30 or fewer students in them. And then also we're #1 in Oregon for return on investment. So when you spend money at Oregon Tech, you're really getting your money's worth, for return, being able to find a job, and then the amount that you're actually making after you graduate as well and in your career field. So that's pretty cool. Our total enrollment is about 5,319 students. Our Klamath Falls campus is our main campus, so that's kind of what I'll be talking about. That's where we have all of our residence halls, our NAI athletics, and that's where most of our clubs are and the majority of our degrees as well. So at Oregon Tech, we are known as Oregon's only polytechnic university. So we pretty much offer STEM related degrees, science, technology, engineering, management, and also medical fields. So I'll go into those degrees as well. We also have, like I said, 50+ student clubs and organizations, NAI athletics that compete at the Cascade Collegiate Conference. So if you're interested in participating in sports, collegiate sports, you can definitely do that here at Oregon Tech. We have a lot of different teams, and we have 2 different residence halls, as I talked about, at our Klamath Falls campus as well. We also have a solar powered and geothermally heated campus at our Klamath Falls campus. So we get 91% of our energy from both of those sources. So we have about 7,000 solar panels, as you can kind of see the image there. And we also overlook the Cascade Mountains and the Klamath Lake as well. So it's a pretty beautiful campus, a really beautiful area. We're located in Southern Oregon. So, we are kind of high desert-y. But we also here at Oregon Tech really emphasize hands-on curriculum. So all of our degree programs that we have that you will see, all of them are very hands-on. You're dealing with your professor one-on-one. Our student to faculty ratio is 15:1. So there's lots of different labs, externships, and internships. So you leave with the skills that you need to be successful in your career. So these are engineering and technology degrees. So we have geomatics. Essentially, we have two modalities with that. We have surveying and GIS. So surveying is going to be more outdoors. As you can see, that's our surveying technicians on the image there. And so there's measuring job sites, measuring roadways and things like that. GIS is more of on a desk or, on a computer, things like that, building maps online. Using different programs. So there's two different options there. At Oregon Tech, we actually have 100% employment rate of geomatics because there's a lot of people, essentially retiring out of that field. So that's a really great thing. A lot of our students are, getting jobs, 100% of them are getting jobs. So that's pretty cool. We also have civil engineering, studying infrastructure, transportation, hydraulics, all of that different stuff. We have lots of cool different labs here at Oregon Tech. And we also have manufacturing engineering, mechanical engineering, and mechanical engineering technology. Here at Oregon Tech, mechanical engineering is the most theory-based. The most book work, it's not going to be as hands-on. Manufacturing engineering is going to be your most hands-on engineering degree here at Oregon Tech, where students are actually building, different things, doing material science, things like that. We also have renewable energy engineering. So we're the first in the nation to offer renewable energy engineering here at Oregon Tech. So that's really, really great. And they get to learn from our two different, energy sources, the solar panels and the geothermal well. We have electrical engineering, electronics engineering, and then we also have computer engineering technology. So computer engineering technology is going to be more building the hardware of the computer. We have software engineering, building software on computers, and then embedded systems engineering is kind of a blend of both engineering, the hardware, and the software aspect. So these are tech-infused business degrees. So we have accounting, marketing, and management, and you might ask, how would you get hands-on experience in that kind of area? Well, here at Oregon Tech, we like to pair our students with local businesses. So whether that might be creating a accounting budget or a marketing plan for a local business to bring in more customers or sell more product. It could be anything such as that. We also have operations management, which is kind of a unique degree. Not a lot of people know about it. It has a lot to do with quality assurance and making sure that products are coming out, the same, or services are, everyone's getting the same service that is, appropriate for that business. So that could be the layout of a production system, anything like that. These are our medical degrees. I totally went over time. I am so sorry. But our application process, so it's a self-report application. You can go online. There is a $50 application fee. Please ask for a fee waiver code. It's fee waiver code is first year, all lowercase, all one word. So it takes only 30 minutes and you just report it. And we ask that you apply by November 1st. And then this is my contact. Thank you for having me so much.
Excellent, thanks very much. Next up is Pacific University, Oregon.
Perfect. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Derek Nagley, and I am one of the admissions counselors here at Pacific University. We are a small private liberal arts university, and we're located in kind of the northwest corner of the state. And I get to tell you just a little bit about us today and kind of what we have to offer to all of you as incoming students. So as I mentioned, we are located in the small town of Forest Grove, Oregon. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You're going to get the best parts of being in a smaller town just inside the Portland city or the Portland metro area. So you get the ability to be able to use mass transportation, be in downtown in about half an hour, depending on traffic, but also you're far enough out that it's a little bit smaller, a little bit quieter. You're right next to places like Nike, Xerox, Columbia, World Headquarters. And at the same time, you're only a 15-minute hike from the Tillamook National Forest and only an hour from the Oregon coast. So you really are able to mix and match that idea of being so close to nature, so close to the outdoors, and close to places that are going to give you that opportunity and connections to the big city. And at Pacific, no matter what you're coming from, we offer over 65 different majors, minors, and programs. So we're best known for things like the health professions, pre-physical therapy, pre-optometry, but we also have nationally and regionally ranked creative writing, accounting, education, and social work programs. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to find a different major. And at Pacific, when you apply, you're applying to Pacific. You don't have to know exactly what you're going to study. As liberal arts school, you can come in and try things out. In fact, you have 2 full years before you have to declare your major. So you can come in and figure out what you want to do while you're here as part of this small school experience. We have about 1,900 undergraduates and about 2,000 graduates, but they're actually on a separate program, campus, and they're mostly in the health professions. But as far as those undergraduates on our campus, you're going to be in small classes. Average class size is only about 19 students. Student to faculty ratio is 10-1, which means you can't hide in our classes. In fact, you will get called on. The professors will know your name and where you're from. Our largest lecture hall at Pacific only seats 50 students. That's as big as they get. Your small classes, you're 2 or 3 students with a professor, and so you actually get to have those conversations. And I keep saying the word professor because at Pacific, every class is taught by professors. There's no TAs, there's no grad students doing any of that teaching. Even the labs are taught by full professors here at Pacific, and their doors are open for you to come in and ask them questions. And at Pacific, we want you to get a 4-year guaranteed degree. So no 5th years, 6 years, or victory laps, but instead that you actually get to come to Pacific and get a 4-year degree for all of those 65 different areas you might be thinking about studying. And the other part of that is when you leave Pacific, we don't want it to be with just a handshake and a good luck, but that you have that really strong education and you can back it up with real world experience. And so what that means at Pacific is starting job shadowing, internships, and research your freshman and sophomore years. And as the top private research university in the Northwest and one of the top 8 research universities on the West Coast, you're going to have that ability to do real life work, whether that's going over and doing something at Nike or doing your own creative writing project and publishing your own book while you're here at Pacific. It means all of our students get to do a research or an internship and present on it while they're a student here at Pacific, so that when they graduate, they have things to talk about in their interviews. And you can see from our placement numbers into graduate school and into the workforce that our students are prepared to do that at that end of the 4 years. Again, this means you don't have to go back and do a 5th year or add extra time in a program, but you can go on and become whatever that next step is going to be for you. The other thing that's unique about Pacific is we know our students need an outlet. In fact, we really encourage our students to not just study one thing, whether that's getting a second major, a minor in a different discipline, or joining our clubs, organizations, and sports. We want our students to have a variety of interests and be able to do this while they're a full-time student here. So whether that means joining some of our 70 different clubs and organizations on campus, ranging from student government to Greek life to our Hawaii club, academic clubs, or that means playing an instrument in the band or singing in the choir, or joining one of our 24 varsity, 20 intramural, or 10 club sports, you are going to have that opportunity to keep doing all those things you love without having to pick one or the other, or only focus on one thing in college. In fact, at Pacific, our average student is involved in 3 clubs or sports that have nothing to do with what they're studying here. So you're going to see a lot of different students doing a lot of different things all at the same time, which makes for a very unique college experience. We also want you to be able to, again, take that education outside of the classroom. So whether that's learning to explore the Pacific Northwest and all that Oregon has to offer with the amazing mountains and trees behind me in the Tillamook Forest, learning how to surf on the Oregon coast, or 2-hour drive and you're up on Mount Hood and skiing and snowboarding in the winter. You're going to be able to do that through our Outdoor Pursuits office, studying abroad in 27 sites around the world for both full semester or 2-week travel classes in January, or doing community service and giving back, both here locally and internationally. As one of the president's list of community service colleges, we are very proud of how much our students are able to give back in the real world. And most importantly, because I know this always comes up through the admissions process, we do use the Common Application, and the great thing with Pacific is we have no in-state or out-of-state tuition, no in-state or out-of-state scholarship, and no in-state or out-of-state application. And what I mean by that is everybody's on the same page. You fill out one application to apply to Pacific, not to get a specific scholarship or hop around, but that you have the ability to come to Pacific, test optional for merit scholarship and for admission, and earn scholarship and be admitted no matter what state you're from. We're going to look at you as a student, holistically review your file, and award you merit scholarship based on that information as well. I know there's a lot more to talk about with Pacific, but as your admissions counselor, I'm glad to answer any questions in the Q&A, or feel free to reach out to me with this contact information here, and I'm glad to pass that information along to you as well. I'll also drop my information into the chat so you can copy and paste it onto your computer. But thank you so much for taking a little bit of time, and go Boxers.
Great, thank you very much. Next up is Portland State University.
Okay, great. It helps if I turn my camera on. Hi, everyone. It's great to have all of you here today, and I'm happy to share some info about Portland State. We are the second largest four-year public school in the state of Oregon with a little over 26,000 total students. And before we go into specifics about our campus, I want to give this first view of our campus a moment of pause. It's one of my favorite views of campus, and it highlights the fact that we are an urban campus in the heart of a city, but we're also a beautiful green space. We have over 1,300 trees on campus, and if you're a student that is looking for maybe the best of both worlds, urban as well as a beautiful local environment, this might be a good spot for you. As a university, I already mentioned we are fairly large, but we do try and make that campus community feel a bit smaller. And I'll talk about some of those ways that you can do so. We are the most diverse four-year public school in the state of Oregon, and we're really proud to say that about 37% of our students are the first in their family to go to college. So if any of you identify as first-generation college students, you will not be alone at PSU, and we have many resources for you, one of them being our TRIO program. So if you're a student interested in that, send me an email and we can talk about it more. The view that you see on this slide is on our Portland Park blocks that run all the way through campus as well as through downtown Portland. It's a great place to hang out as a student. The farmers market sets up on the weekends. It's an experience I've missed greatly. I haven't been in probably a year now, but it also is a spot that it highlights our access to local alternative modes of transportation, including our student bike commuters, of which we have many, or if you're a student who wants to use the streetcar, you have free access to that, and the streetcar is highlighted on this slide. But we really encourage our students to consider the footprint that they're making, and that really aligns with our sustainability efforts as a campus. In downtown Portland, we have about 50 acres. I already shared the fun fact about trees, but something to know is that if you're looking to live on campus, you have the choice of 10 different residence halls. And I would say that something unique about PSU is that we don't require our students to live on campus. So we want you to have that choice, live wherever it is that best fits your needs and interests. But if you're interested in living on campus, you're guaranteed a spot. This year, as long as you apply for housing by June, I think we changed the date to June 15th. It's usually May 1st. But there are many options to choose from. They are all different. If you want to live by yourself, you want a roommate, you want to cook your own meals in a kitchenette, you have many options to choose from. And it's a really great way to make that 26,000 student population feel a little bit smaller. We also have cultural and resource centers open to all students on campus. We also have many clubs and organizations that are all student run. And then we are an NCAA Division I school, a part of the Big Sky Conference. So if you're interested in competing in D1 athletics, you can do that with us. Finally, I'll just mention, as far as student life goes, being in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, along with any of the campuses where my colleagues are located, it really lends itself well to enjoying the environment that surrounds us. So whether you're interested in water or mountain sports, we have many opportunities to pursue and enjoy those experiences. Being a large university, we have many programs for you to choose from, over 200 to be exact. Some of our top majors are business and psychology. We also have popular offerings in computer science, graphic design, public health, and music. If you're a student who's not quite sure what it is that you'd like to major in, that is also fine. When you apply to PSU, you can select an exploratory pathway, which will get you connected with an academic advisor and really support you through that process of helping you to select a major and making sure that that major aligns with your future goals. Now, it's important to talk about the admissions process. If you're a student who's interested in applying as a first-year student right out of high school, even if you have some college credits, we will look for a cumulative GPA of a 2.5 or above. This is slightly different than prior years. So if you're not applying for a few years, check back with me or on our website and we can talk about the requirements at that point. But we'll also want to see the classes that you completed in in high school. And then we're test optional, and we've been test optional for a long time, so that's not going to change. So really, if you meet that minimum GPA and you have the required classes, you will be admitted as a student. I do also want to mention our transfer admissions process, because PSU has a strong commitment to our transfer students, and about 60% of our students are transfer students. So if you're thinking about earning credits first at a local community college and then transferring to Portland State later, the transfer track might work well for you. Currently, we are not on the Common App, but next year we will be. So if this fall, starting in August, you decide to apply to PSU for the fall of 2022, you can find us on the Common App. To close this out by talking a little bit about the money side of things, Portland State University is a school that does participate in the Western Undergraduate Exchange. So if you're a student coming from a WUI eligible school, including California, WUI eligible state, it will reduce your tuition significantly to about 150% of in-state tuition. And before I run out of all of my time, I just want to highlight that any student who meets the GPA requirement for the WUI will receive it. We don't limit it to a certain number of students. If you're curious about this program, send me an email and I'll get you more info. And finally, I'm now over time. So send me an email if you want to chat more. I'll put my information into the chat for you, and then I'm happy to answer questions in the Q&A. Thanks for being here.
Great, thank you so much, Bethany. Next up is the University of Oregon.
Hello, everyone. Let me just pull up this presentation for you all, and we'll get started. Oh gosh, oh no. Well, while that loads up, again, good afternoon or good morning or good evening, wherever you're coming in from. My name is Mike Mendoza. I'm one of the admissions counselors for the University of Oregon. I'm based in Portland, Oregon, which is a little bit away from our campus in Eugene, Oregon, and I'll dive a little bit into that. I'll dive into it now. So again, I'm based in Portland. The University of Oregon is based in Eugene, which is about 2 hours south from me in Portland. And we're centrally located on the western end of the state that we're close to a lot of different landscapes and a lot of different activities and opportunities. So again, 2 hours away from Portland, if you ever want to have the urge to visit a bigger city, Portland is the biggest city in the state of Oregon. Eugene comes in second place. We're also about an hour away from the Oregon coast, which I highly recommend visiting if you've never had the opportunity to do so. And then we're about an hour away from the Cascade Mountains, away from winter sport activities, snowboarding, skiing, all that kind of sorts. We actually have a club on campus called UO Snow that will go out and compete out in the Cascade Mountains, out in at Mount Bachelor in Bend, Oregon. So again, centrally located that you can take the opportunity to explore everything that surrounds Eugene and is within the range of Eugene by a quick drive. So at a quick glance of the U of O, we are again in Eugene, which has been labeled as a green city, which we take a lot of pride in. U of O is all about sustainability, all about being sustainable and keeping our environment safe because we're surrounded by such luscious green environment, and the Willamette River is just across the street from campus. It's a beautiful landscape. The U of O is a larger size institution. It's a little bit on the smaller end of big schools with a little bit under 19,000 undergraduate students, which really serves to the benefit of our students. We still have the opportunity to have small class sizes, have the opportunity for our students to meet with professors and have access to opportunities like research. So the University of Oregon is a Tier 1 public research institution recognized by the AAU, the Association of American Universities, and they recognize schools across North America that are dedicated to research. We're the only ones recognized by them in the state of Oregon and only one of two in the Pacific Northwest. Again, being a part of them is a big recognition and a big honor for us. And we take a big pride in being able to offer research to all of our students, whether they're pursuing a doctorate, whether they're pursuing a master's program, or they're an undergraduate students in their first 4 years of college. We have some students getting engaged with research as early on as their freshman year. but it's going to be available every year, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in all of our academic programs, not just the sciences. Programs like business, education, journalism, architecture, music, the list will go on and on. They will all offer opportunities for research, not just the sciences. Here are some of our top programs on our campus. About a third of our incoming class will come in undecided or exploring as their major. So if you aren't really sure what you want to study in college, that is A-okay. We have an amazing academic advising team that you can work with that will help you transition from high school to college, making sure you're staying on track to graduate within 4 years. And again, if you're coming in as undecided or exploring as your official major, the academic advisors will work with you to find the right pathway for you on our campus, find the right courses for you, and ultimately find the right career path for you. So why the U of O? We, again, are a little bit of a larger size institution, but being on the smaller end of that, we have that opportunity to have smaller class sizes. On average, we have a 16:1 student-teacher ratio. Again, in being able to offer research to all of our students, including undergraduate students, is a big point of pride for us. So 73% of our students are engaged with research activity on our campus, with several honors opportunities as well. So beyond research opportunities, there's honors opportunities on our campus. One of them is through our Clark Honors College. That in order to be a part of the Clark Honors College on our campus, you do have to submit an extra application or complete a supplemental application along with the U of O application. But several programs on our campus will offer honors opportunities if you are not admitted into the Clark Honors College, whether that's receiving Latin honors or going through departmental honors and different recognitions that they offer for students on campus. So different opportunities for students in a number of different ways to receive honors recognition. So applying to the U of O, there's 3 ways you can submit an application: the Common App, the Coalition App, and the Oregon App. A Common and Coalition, like you've heard from my colleagues here today, the Common App and the Coalition App both are are formats that you can apply to several colleges and universities using one application. And so the U of O is one of those schools that you can apply using the Common App or the Coalition App. And then the Oregon application is you're only applying to the U of O using that application. So just note that. Our deadlines, again, are here listed. November 1 is early action. So applying early action, you hear back early around mid-December with the decision. If you're admitted, you're not required to attend U of O. You have until May 1 to let us know about your decision. Regular deadline is January 15th, and then February 15th is our deadline for merit-based scholarships. So make sure to apply by January 15th and complete your application file by February 15th. So that means completing your application fee waiver if you're requesting one. The U of O is a test optional school. And so if you're opting in to submit your scores, making sure those are submitted. But by meeting the deadline, you qualify for some of our merit-based scholarships. We take a very holistic approach when reviewing applications. So there's no one thing that we're looking for. We're not admitting students based off of just their GPA and test scores. And again, U of O is test optional. We went test optional just before COVID-19 kind of took over and it became this epidemic and soon enough a pandemic in the US. So we're committing to test optional from here on out. No need to worry about that. But again, we're not admitting students just off of GPA and test scores. We look into all these different things when reviewing an application. And so funding for college, we offer the Oregon Guarantee. You can be locked in for one tuition rate for up to 5 years. We offer some 5-year programs. And so if you're in one of those, your tuition is locked in for 5 years. And for students in 4-year programs, your tuition is locked in for 4 years. Here are some of our scholarships. These are both in-state and out-of-state opportunities. So just make sure to note that if you're looking like this, this is in-state and this is out-of-state figures. And then these are the requirements. Summit and Apex, you qualify automatically just by meeting our deadline. And then scholarships like STAMPS, Presidential, Diversity, Excellence, all require an extra application. So just be aware of their different deadlines. And Excellence is an out-of-state opportunity, and Pathway Oregon is an in-state opportunity. Lastly, just kind of stay in touch with us, keep in the loop about what's going on. For juniors in our session today, we have an event coming up later this spring called Just for Juniors that you can attend. But as long as we're in this virtual world, virtual.uoregon.edu is the best place to check out all the different virtual resources that we can offer to our students at this moment. And this is my contact information. Please feel free to stay in touch with any questions you might have. I might not be your designated admissions counselor, but feel free to start off with me, introduce yourself, and I'll be happy to start answering questions as you start finding out more about the University of Oregon. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Next up is Western Oregon University.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Itzel Venegas Trujillo, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Western Oregon University, well, virtually here at Western Oregon University. Let's see, here we go. Western Oregon University is located in Monmouth, Oregon. It's a small town in the heart of the Willamette Valley. It's about 20 minutes away from Salem, which is our state's capital hub, or our state's capital, and 75 minutes from Portland, our state's cultural hub. We are a public mid-sized university. We have around 5,000 students with graduate students included, making our average class size around 19 to 22, and our student to faculty ratio about 15:1. Our admissions requirements are pretty simple. We're looking for a first year student to have a minimum of 3.0 cumulative GPA, have completed or will complete 4 years of English, 3 years of math, including Algebra 2, 3 years of science, 3 years of social science, and 2 years of the same second language with the C- or better. Take note that pass or credit grades due to COVID-19 will be accepted for students to meet our requirements. If you're thinking of transferring over after going to community college, we are looking for transfer students to have at least a 2.25 cumulative college GPA and at least 36 transferable quarter credits and 24 transferable semester credits. In order to process your application, we only need you to submit our WU online application. Right now, the application fee is no longer required for both freshmen and transfer applicants. It is free to apply for a limited time. With that being said, we are accepting self-reported cumulative GPAs. Therefore, there's no need to send us an official transcript for admissions purposes, but we will ask them for scholarship purposes. We are also on rolling admissions, meaning we do not have a deadline to apply. However, we do recommend that you apply as soon as you're able to. And our priority soft deadline is February 1st for scholarship purposes. Please know if you do not meet our minimum requirements, that's okay. We're willing to work with you one-on-one to make sure that you complete your admissions application. So one of the main questions we receive from students is, can I afford to go to Western Oregon? And our simple answer is yes, you can afford it. More than 78% of our students do receive some form of financial aid. Along with that, we also offer our a reduced out-of-state tuition rate, which is what we call the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program, which someone has already mentioned, what we call the WUI. For us specifically, this program allows us to automatically give all students from these Western states that you see on screen a reduced tuition rate. The tuition fees for students who reside in WUI partnered state is projected to be around $14,000 a year. Since WUI tuition is based off your residency status, any and all major minor programs are eligible for the tuition reduction. More good news, WU also allows you to stack on all your school funds with your WUI tuition rate so that you're not missing out on any college funds going towards college, right? Like merit-based scholarships, need-based scholarships, diversity-based scholarships, athletic-based scholarships, and so much more. Here you will see a comparison table of our projected tuition fees and the room and board rates for the next academic year for Oregon students, WUI Texas students, and non-resident out-of-state students. Please note that tuition and fees estimates for undergraduate students are based on 15 credits per term for fall, winter, and spring. And the room and board rate is based on a standard double shared room and a common meal plan. Now on what to study at WU. Here at Western Oregon University, we offer several bachelor's degrees. We have the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and a Bachelor of Fine Arts, with over 50 majors and minors to choose from within our College of Education, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and Pre-Professional Studies. Students are able to find their passions to achieve academic success. Notable programs include business, criminal justice, psychology, teaching education, computer science, exercise science, biology, pre-nursing, as well as American Sign Language and English interpreting. Another big topic here at Western Oregon is housing. We have several types of housing, which include double, single, suite style, and live-learn communities. For first-year students, we do have a one-year live-in requirement. As a result, Western Oregon provides up to 4 residence halls, primarily designed for first-year living experience with residential assistants, equipped to help students transition to Western Oregon. For transfer students or any upperclassmen, we do provide upper division residence halls, offering residents the opportunity to experience living on their own, while also benefiting from such amenities such as private bedrooms, shared bathrooms, tech support, meal plans if desired, laundry, utilities, and Wi-Fi. Along with that, we offer a lot of opportunities to stay active, stay involved, and receive a lot of student support. Here at WU, we have NCAA Division II athletics. We offer 6 women's sports as well as 5 men's sports. We do provide partial athletic scholarships, and if you're interested, let us know and we can point you in the right direction. Along with our sports, we offer 60 clubs and organizations on our campus for students to learn leadership skills and another way to pursue their passions. WU students are involved in many organizations, including social action clubs, LGBTQ groups, cultural-based organizations, creative arts groups, and so much more. From that, we at Western Oregon strive to offer many services in which students can reach academic success. Need help with classwork, academic advice, or looking for career advice, then we have you covered. Our academic advisors within our Student Success and Advising Center are equipped to help advise students in exploring different majors and choosing the best fit for them. We provide free academic tutoring within many areas, including computer science, math, science, writing, and so much more. For those seeking career advice apart from their faculty or academic advisor, you can find assistance through the Service Learning and Career Development Center. In addition to career counseling, resume and cover letter reviews, help with graduate school applications, we support programs that give students hands-on experience, like those of community internship programs, on-campus jobs, and alternative break programs. In a nutshell, here at WU, we pride ourselves in being inclusive, accessible, and affordable, committed to student success and their well-being. Because we're a small university, many students have the opportunity to participate in many different aspects of campus. We make it our mission to help students feel comfortable here, whether they're commuting to school, living on campus, or coming from out of state. Our students are encouraged to be their own individual while also helping the campus community as a whole, committed to their academics and personal health. Here's my contact information in case you would like to contact me afterwards to talk about how WU can help you with your journey to higher education. I will also add it to the Zoom chat as well. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So we have just a few minutes left before this session's over. And I want to invite all of our presenters to come back on camera and respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'll ask them to respond in the same order that they presented.
Yeah, the best advice that I received was definitely to visit your schools. It might not be totally possible right now in the time of COVID, but in lieu of that, getting to know your admissions counselor. We're here to help you. Ask us a question, send us an email. Yeah.
You said the best advice, correct? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
that's correct.
The best advice I can say, oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, definitely visiting colleges. I mean, here at Oregon Tech, we're starting to do on-campus visits again. So, or even reaching out if you have questions, you know, with FAFSA and things like that. I know a lot of that stuff can be confusing for a lot of students. So here at Oregon Tech, we definitely have a financial aid office, and our admissions office is totally willing to help any students with, you know, any questions about, you know, financial things, or just any questions in general. So reach out.
So I always like to tell families to not just focus on one word. And so what I mean by that is colleges have this really annoying habit where we will rename anything we possibly can just so we can be really unique. And so if you start your job or your college search with just like one word, one major, one city, you're going to miss out on lots and lots of other opportunities. So one really simple way is to literally, if you're going to pick a major, go on Google and type in what else is this called before you just start searching for those majors, because you're going to find a lot of other opportunities where it's just slightly different name under the same program.
I think the biggest piece of advice I would offer is don't compare yourself with other students, or your friends, your classmates, your siblings, if you do have siblings. This is your individual journey. So focus on what it is that you're interested in, ask questions that apply to you and your interests, and don't get lost in that comparison game.
I would echo what everyone has said so far, but for mine, I would say, find your organization method and try and organize all the different deadlines and all the different dates that the different colleges and universities you're looking at have. College applications or college admissions is messy. There's no one linear timeline that we follow. We all have different deadlines. Just in today's presentation, you heard probably 6 different deadlines, or at least 4, right? So keep whatever method works for you, keep track of all that. That way you're not falling behind or you mistake one school for another school's deadline and that kind of stuff. That really helped me out back when I was applying for colleges.
And then really quickly, just to echo everyone else's advice, is just meet college representatives, whether it's in the admissions office, financial aid office, or housing office. We are here to help. We are getting paid to be here to help you. We're not intimidating. I hope we don't come off that way, but we're here to help. But thank you everyone for coming.
Excellent. Thank you all so much for those pieces of advice. We are out of time for this session, so I want to say thank you for joining us. When this window closes, there'll be a link to a very quick survey, and we do appreciate your feedback. And just a reminder that this session was recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/SSDA. So thank you all so much and have a great rest of your day.